Hello horror fans and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, top 5 scary videos, where we've got another showstopper in our brand new series, The Monster Files. This time we're taking a turn into the Saw franchise, a global phenomenon that ushered in a new age of gore-centric horror. Love them or hate them, there's no doubt that Jigsaw and his terrifying box of horrors paved the way for a new grotesque generation of horror cinema. What's going on guys? As per usual, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch as we dive back into that blood-soaked filing cabinet known as the Monster Files and take a look at the top 5 scariest and horrific Jigsaw traps. Roll the clip.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose.
Before we dive on into this latest monster file, why don't you go ahead and let us know your thoughts about this series in the comment box down below. If you're feeling up to it or you're just a fan of top 5 scary videos in general, then show us some love with a good old thumbs up and make sure to ding that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with your daily dose of horror. Whether you love the Saw franchise or despise them, there's no denying that they've left their mark on the world of horror cinema. For a franchise that began with such a small budget, its 8 films have gone on to gross over $975 million at the worldwide box office, making it one of the highest grossing horror franchises of all time. And it revolves around one guy and his twisted propensity to administer pain via intricate psychological torture. Jigsaw, aka John Kramer, who believes that if his unfortunate victims can survive, they'll be better human beings altogether. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if he's qualified to make such an assumption, but let's take a look at his best attempts. Kicking off at number 5, 10 Pints of Blood, Saw 5. And what better way to kick off this list than by sticking our hand into a table saw. Saw 5 released in 2008 got a little confusing to say the least, so let's just leave it at that. The most insane jigsaw trap in Saw 5 finds 5 strangers in a series of increasingly difficult team building exercises, who eventually are whittled down to just 2, Britt and Malik, who are tasked with giving 10 pints of blood to continue on through their house of pain. Now this isn't the juice and cookies kind of giving blood, of course this is Jigsaw. There's 10 pints of blood in the human body, so both Malik and Britt have to commit to sticking their hand into a table saw in an excruciating display of human survival. Or, you know, they could just kill each other. The real kicker with this trap though is that it was intended to be used by 5 people, each giving 2 pints of blood each. The real lesson in this maze of horrors was that if they just would have worked together rather than compete, they would have all survived the painstaking process. You know what they say about hindsight. Coming in at number 4, the Oxygen Crusher, Saw 6. Perhaps the most severe anti-smoking promotion we've ever seen, and if I'm being honest, this is probably one of the bleakest traps in the entire Saw franchise, mainly because of the primary victim, Hank, just a random janitor that Agent Hoffman's Jigsaw seemingly pulled off the street. Hank didn't do anything wrong, he never harmed anyone other than himself, and he succumbed to this torture. Poor guy. Saw 6 revolves around William Easton, an insurance executive for Umbrella Health, the company responsible for denying John Kramer, the original Jigsaw, with an experimental cancer treatment. Alongside poor Hank, William wakes up strapped to a vice-like machine linked up to an oxygen mask strapped over the men's faces. Every breath they take and every move they make causes a hydraulic vice to tighten on their torso. Of course, it's revealed that poor Hank, the janitor, has a terrible smoking habit and he evidently finds it difficult to hold his breath, ending up with the trap compressing his sides so tightly that his chest cavity explodes. This one is straight up murder. There's no lesson to be learned whatsoever. Next up at number 3, the Venus Flytrap, Saw 2.
It's right before your eyes. How much blood will you shed to stay alive, Michael? Live or die?
In Saw 2, which in all fairness was a great sequel to the original and a bold step into the intricate mind of Jigsaw, the film begins with Michael Marks, a police informant for the series' loose protagonist, Detective Eric Matthews. And, well, Michael's wake-up call isn't very pleasant at all. Imagine this, you wake up disoriented, bleeding, with a massive metal spiked contraption around your neck and a strange swollen feeling in your eye socket. The next thing you know, there's a weird puppet telling you that the only way to survive is to cut out the key to deactivate the trap. Oh, Where's the key? It's burrowed beneath your eye socket. Oh, and also you've got 60 seconds to figure it out. For a killer that had the intention of teaching his victims a lesson, the Venus Flytrap is pretty much unteachable, and it's one of the most brutal traps in the entire series. Don't get me wrong, it definitely stands beside the reverse bear trap that's so synonymous with the series, but at least that thing had a few survivors. The Venus Flytrap has a 100% mortality rate, which is why it's the leading face-destroying trap to make this list. It's gnarly stuff. Swinging in at number 2, the Angel Trap. And this is where we get to the point on this list where the chances of survival reach absolute zero. The Angel Trap was never intended to teach anyone a lesson. Its sole purpose was to kill its unwitting victim as painfully as possible, and this trap delivers that in spades. Have you ever heard of the Blood Eagle? It was a method of torture synonymous with Nordic warriors throughout the Viking period of Scandinavia, reserved as the most public and excruciating display of death possible. Its method of torture was to sever the victim's ribs from their spine and then pull their lungs through the gaps, creating a grotesque display of wings. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea with this trap, and although it's probably borrowed heavily from ancient methods of torture, its display is much more graphic in Saw 3. Alison Kerry, one of the detectives hot on the trail of Jigsaw, wakes up in a contraption of metal racking which is also hooked to her ribs. The means of her escape is a key kept in a beaker of highly corrosive acid, which even though she painstakingly manages to grab, ultimately does nothing. And yeah, you can kind of guess how that one ends. And finally, our number 1 spot, the rack. Saw 3 again.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Apply here, Jeff. Make your choice.
Because, like we said previously, Saw 3 is pretty damn bleak. Spoilers, but it's down to Jigsaw's apprentice Amanda, yeah, that Amanda, the one in the bear trap mask, having gone a little haywire. She's waylaid the whole live or die thing that Jigsaw tried to drill into his victims and just settled for the die part. Seriously, out of all the traps in the Saw series, this would be mine. This is also one of the rare moments in the Saw franchise where the gore for the sake of gore actually pays off. This entire scene is counterbalanced with the protagonist Jeff staring down his son's killer who's strapped to the rack, and even though Jeff ultimately passes the puzzle, it's futile. There's no saving him. Even after watching Timothy's limbs get individually twisted, there's no stopping the rack. And it doesn't stop either, it just keeps twisting until there's nothing left. Well, anyway folks, that's unfortunately all we've got time for in today's episode of the Monster Files. Cheers for sticking around all the way to the end. If you've got any thoughts on this video, speak your mind in the comment section down below. It's been a pleasure making this video for you all. There'll be many more Monster Files in the pipeline. As always, I've been your host Jack Finch. You've been watching Top 5 Scary Videos, and until next time, you take it easy.